Hello, and welcome to Bible Talk episode 9, where I've still been reading Jeremiah, big book, but in Jeremiah, God brings him forward to call out Israel's idolatry. They're perversing themselves by worshipping false gods and offering sacrifices to them, and particularly like Molech, where they sacrifice their own kids in a fire, and that's just horrible, horrible things. It just got me thinking about idols and what modern day equivalent would be worshipping idols, because we have our own. We don't necessarily offer sacrifices to anymore. We don't really offer burnt sacrifices of animals or liquid sacrifices. You've got the really obvious ones of like other religions. And stuff like that. And you've got it doesn't necessarily even need to be like oh, behind me. It doesn't even necessarily need to be like a religion, does it? Like, you can worship a lot of different things. That what do you? I guess we don't sacrifice like animals anymore or something like that. Yeah, but what do what do we sacrifice? Like what do like, if you think of it this way, like, they're animals and things that they liquid offerings and stuff, grain offerings. That was like partly their wages. Like, what do we spend our wages on? Like, oh, what do we spend our time on? It's not. No, it's not just what do we give things to. It's what do we give anything to, mainly, you know. They've got the old, like, I don't know if you guys spend any time in, like, Christian circles, but you know, like, a few things like, oh, do you worship football? Do you worship sex? Is that what you're spending all your time thinking about? So modern day idols are a little, I think they're a little bit more difficult to define. Because like,
the first order won't succeed again. Hold the objective.
Israel had more gods than towns. Like, you know, that's a lot of different gods. It's a lot of different things. You know, they had altars, you know, that were, they had more altars than streets in Jerusalem. Everything's a big city. You know, so it's like, yeah, I still think modern day stuff is a lot harder to, I find it a lot harder to find as, oh, am I worshipping that thing? Or is it just something that I'm enjoying?
Now we're gonna have to fall back. Get ready to move.
That distinction can be hard to find.
We're gonna regroup and set up new defenses here. Quickly. Make way!
I think with almost anything in the Old Testament, you have to, because it was all written for a culture, a definite culture that they were, that they were in at the time, and that doesn't always greatly translate to our culture because there's so much difference in them. Ooh, yeah, this is lost.
One last retreat and then we stand and fight. Everyone, get ready.
It's one of the great difficulties nowadays of how to interpret the Bible. So I had a big thing about computer games as I'm sitting here playing computer games, but I pay a lot less than I did. I pay a lot less than I did because I realised that I'm putting too much time into it because I was getting nothing out of it. Oh, ah, not good. It's getting putting too much time into it, and I was getting none of God. Like, I wasn't reading my Bible. I was, in theory, worshipping computer games.
That first
So
border attack overwhelmed us,
so
and
I had
now
to
we have to
make a choice
reprioritize on
not
Takodana
to
behind. Not
spend as
good.
much time on computer
Not
games
good at all.
and do other things. So I think that can be a type of worship and, idolization. I don't think, if as long as you make room for other things, as long as you make room for God, you're you're fine to enjoy computer games or football. They're the only two examples coming to mind. But if you don't, then there's a problem there, and that's something that needs addressing. But then if I use that logic, you'd think it's okay for Israel to follow those gods as long as they made time for God, which isn't the case. So that's a bit of a tricky one. I think that the most direct comparison we've got nowadays is other religions. You know, do you pray to anyone other than God or Jesus? Do you, put your hope in anything else other than God? So I'm a bit of a tangent on that one, but it's kind of what these things are all about, just following thought ideas through and seeing what things come to in the end. Anyway, thank you for listening, and let me know what you've been thinking about in the comment section, and let's get this Bible talk going. Have a good day. Bye.